A very good evening to you, and thank you very much for joining us. This is Lookuptv, and you're just in time for Lookup weekend on this 21st day of April 2023. A day when our Muslim brothers were breaking their fast after the end of the holy month of Ramadan. A message of peace, or other messages of peace, love and unity being spread across the country, even as President William Ruto and as opposition leader Raila Odinga have been urged to unite and make sure the country moves in the right direction. A lot has been happening, not only on matters Eid celebrations, but on other fronts, including the fight against illicit brew in the central Kenya region, or other parts of the Mount Kenya region, led by others, or rather spearheaded by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. We here at Lookuptv do hope that you had a great day, and to our Muslim brothers, we hope that you had a good Eid al-Fitr celebrations, and still up ahead to you.
Tonight on Lookup Weekend.
Mwenye kuleza ni Mwenyezi Mungu. Na tuishi kwa uzaki Mwenyezi Mungu. Kwa hivyo serikali ibane, ikamue, ifanyeje, sisi tuishi kwa uwezo wa Mwenyezi Mungu. Hii dini yetu, Ramadhani ni yetu, tutakula vile Mungu atakavyokuwa ametupangia. Lakini tukiangalia mambo na uchumi na hali ilivyo, tutakwenda nalo hivyo hivyo bichi dume hili.
Eid Mubarak to all Muslims across the country. Join others in marking the end of Ramadan as they call on political leaders to maintain peace. Also tonight,
kulingana na huyu Mackenzie ametutesa, kwa sababu ametutesa. Yani kuna watu karibu 100 walikuwa wanakuja Shakahola.
The search continues. Homicide unit officers have begun exhuming bodies in the graves believed to be those of followers of controversial Pastor Paul Mackenzie. A middle-aged man was brutally murdered and his body set on fire in LIMURU, County.
Welcome. I am Keitany, and our sign language interpreter is Veronica Award. Remember, you can watch us live across all our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We kickstart a bulletin with Eid celebrations, and thousands of Muslim faithfuls in the country thronged to various open fields for special prayers to mark Eid al-Fitr, an important event in the Islamic calendar, where faithful break their fast to mark the end of the holy month of Ramadan. Muslim faithfuls and other Kenyans have been urged to maintain peace and respect their leaders so as to help ease in future development plans for the nation.
Speaking at the Council Square Park in Kwale County after participating in the prayers to mark the end of the holy month of Ramadan, Islamic leaders have asked their fellow believers to respect the leadership of the religion in the country in its decisions regarding the holidays.
Tudumisheni amani katika kaunti yetu, tudumisheni amani katika nchi yetu, na tuheshimu na viongozi wetu wakiwemo Chief Kadhi.
In addition, Kenyans have been asked to relate peacefully despite the existing political differences.
Waislamu wote na Wakenya tuweze kudumisha amani, na inaposherekewa sikukuu hii ya Eid, wale ambao wana uwezo wahakikishe pia wameweza kuwawezesha wale wengine ambao hawana uwezo pia waweze kusherehekea katika siku hii. Kwa hivyo wale ambao hawana uwezo wakumbukwe na wao pia waweze kusherehekea kama watu wengine.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin.
Similar celebrations have been held in Isiolo County, where Islamic faithfuls have called on President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to prioritize Kenyans and resolve the differences peacefully.
Hatutaki tuende njia ya nchi zingine kama taifa ya jirani ya Sudan, kwa sababu umeshindwa kuelewana kwa jambo kidogo, leo nchi yao inachomeka. Kwa hivyo tunapenda kupeleka ujumbe wetu kwa viongozi wetu, wakae chini wasikizane ili nchi yetu ipate amani na tuweze kusonga mbele.
Osman Sharif has also called on Kenyans to continue supporting those affected by the adverse drought that did hit the country, noting that the current rainy season has not yet enabled them to revert to normalcy.
There are so many needy people who have been left out. I appeal to the leaders, especially the county government, wafanye ile coordination yao ya kusaidia jamii ama familia, iwe ni usaidizi ya pamoja.
from Lookuptv, we wish all our Muslim brothers a blessed Eid celebrations. Samedika, Lookuptv.
Yet again, happy Eid to all the Muslim brothers. Now on to a sad story, and 3 bodies have so far been exhumed in Shakahola, Magarini in Kilifi County after more graves were discovered earlier today. The graves are believed to be those of Pastor Paul Mackenzie's Good News International Church followers who fasted to death. Mackenzie was arrested last week and is still in police custody.
Early morning, officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations and Red Cross arrived at the scene where the graveyard of those said to have died after fasting was located, with more than 32 graves discovered.
Kulingana na huyu Mackenzie ametutesa kwa sababu ametutesa, yani kuna watu karibu 100 walikuwa wanakuja Shakahola. Mimi ni mwanabiashara na ninauza mambo na majerikeni. Hasa imefikia wakati sahihi wale watoto hawakuji tena, unaona. Wale wazee wa mama hawakuji tena, unaona. Kumbe huyu jamaa anawafunga kamba wanakufa huku, unaona sasa. Kwa hivyo serikali, mimi ningeomba huyu Mackenzie ashikwe akufe kabisa, kwa sababu mkimwachilia sisi wakaji wa Shakahola tutamuua.
The exhumation exercise began with heavy police presence, who cordoned off the area to allow a smooth operation. 2 hours later, 3 bodies had been found, 2 of those in the same grave.
Na leo imefanya the first confirmation has been done, kwa sababu nyuma yetu mnaona exhumation bado inaendelea, na so far tayari miili ndio hiyo ishatolewa. Hii inatuonyesha kuwa hapa bado kuna watu wengi ambao wako chini ya ardhi. So we are calling a multi-agency approach, kwa sababu kaburi zinazidi kuwa nyingi. Kila kukicha zinakuwa identified mingi.
The Good News International Church has grabbed the headlines for the past couple of weeks after members of the church were reported to have died after fasting on orders of their pastor Paul Mackenzie, with various bodies discovered in Shakahola, Kilifi County.
Kuja hapa kurescue nyinyi. Tumeona? Mimi sina sikiza hapo, naitwa nani? Nakuomba. Unaitwa nani?
Over 240 members of County Assembly drawn from Kiambu, Nyeri, Murang'a, Kirinyaga and Nyandarua counties have today unanimously agreed to enact a more punitive law to regulate the sale and consumption of alcohol in Mount Kenya region. As Henry Tende now reports, the MCA's decision followed intensive lobbying by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua earlier in the day as the government intensifies the purge on illicit brew, consumption and substance abuse in the country.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has once again set tent in the Mount Kenya region, this time meeting with close to 240 members of different county assemblies in the region. The meeting coming amid heightened fight against illicit brew and substance abuse in the country. After several hours of discussion, the members of county assemblies had made a firm decision.
The members of the county assembly have agreed that there is a gap in terms of the law, and that is why we are having a problem in mushrooming bars and wines and spirits, and they have agreed that there is urgent need to fix the law, to come up with laws that are deterrent and that will govern the licensings of bars and also spell out heavy penalties for those who violate the law as a way of dealing with the situation.
The formulation process scheduled to start in a week's time.
The members of the county assembly have agreed unanimously that the law that they will make to regulate alcohol in this region will be uniform among the 5 counties. And they have chosen 4 representatives from each county, making a group of 20 to lead it coming the next weekend.
Earlier in the day, the second in command had intensely lobbied the MCAs towards a common stand as he seeks concerted efforts in finding a lasting solution to the illicit brew and substance abuse menace in Mount Kenya region.
From this region and for the whole country, really, that if we don't intervene, we can lose an entire generation. The situation in central Kenya and the rest of the country is worrisome. And we want to explain that why we have started here is because from the statistics from NACADA, this area is once hit at 14%. Once we succeed here, and we must succeed, we'll use the interventions here as a model for the rest of the country.
President William Ruto's government remains firm on the war against illicit brew and substance abuse, which affect thousands of citizens across the country. In Embu, 50 people were arrested during a crackdown on sale of illicit brew. The crackdown also managing to nab hard drugs.
Sisi tunafanya operation zetu, tunashika watu wa bangi, tunashika watu ambao wanauza pombe haramu, hiyo tunaita second generation, na hii illicit brew hii ya kawaida kama mashore na pombe zingine ambazo ni za kienyeji ambazo hazitakikani. Nataka kutoa mwito kwa wale wazazi, kwa sababu sasa hizi shule zimefungwa na wengi wao utakuta watoto wao wanaenda zile sehemu za starehe, na unakuta kule wao wanaingia kwa mabaa na wanajihusisha kwa maneno ya ulevi. Tungesema watoto kama wale wazazi wawachunge, kwa sababu sisi tukienda kufanya operation zetu tuwakute kule, basi tutawashika na ikiwezekana tutawapeleka kotini.
Several counties are currently categorized in the red zone, with a large number of younger population falling prey to this menace. The government is adamant this time round a lasting solution will be found. Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
Thank you very much, Henry Tende, for that particular story. President William Ruto has appointed former Meru Governor Keitany Murungi as the chairperson of the board of directors of the National Oil Corporation of Kenya. Murungi will be at the helm of the oil firm for 3 years. Former presidential candidate and Agano party leader David Mwaure Waihiga has also been appointed to serve as the chairperson of the board of trustees of the National Environment Trust Fund. Former Makueni deputy governor, that is Adelina Mwau, has also been appointed the chairperson of the Kenyatta International Convention Center Board. President William Ruto has also appointed Richard Cheruiyot and Godfrey Lemiso to serve as chairpersons of the Export Processing Zones Authority and Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, respectively, for a period of 3 years. Additionally, the head of state has appointed Professor Kimathi Mbogori Kigatira as the chairperson of the board of directors of the Kenya Veterinary Vaccines Production Institute. Now, let's have a look at that particular story. Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan JOHO is back in the country after missing in active politics for months on medical reasons. JOHO, who joined other Muslim faithfuls during the Eid al-Fitr celebrations, has voiced his support towards demonstrations and confirmed that he will be taking a frontline role in future demonstrations called by Azimio leader Raila Odinga.
Hali imekuwa ngumu sana na kwa sababu ya mipango ya kiserikali ambayo haieleweki. And therefore ni lazima watu wanasikia uchungu mkubwa kwa sababu hali imekuwa ngumu. And I give you an example. Sisi kama Waislamu kuna kitu inaitwa Zakatul Fitr. Zakatul Fitr last year and the year before, a few years ago, ulikuwa nalipa takriban 300-400. This year, it is 700 per person. Wacha nikueleze. Nimeulizwa pale nyuma, mbona tukuoni na Raila Odinga kwa the protests. And I want to tell you something. I subscribe fully to the ideology of Raila Amolo Odinga. It must be known. Mimi ni Raila na Raila ni mimi. It is only for health reasons. I've been away kwa sababu ya kiafya. Even as we speak, mimi niko katika recovering. I want to assure you, nikijisikia niko vizuri kiafya, kikamilifu, Raila atakuwa nyuma yangu kwa maandamano. Mimi nitakuwa mbele alafu yeye ndio nyuma. It must be known. So watu ambao wanaota otherwise, hata sijui watu wamestaafu, si watu wamefanya nini, mimi ni ODM na ODM ni mimi. Mimi ni Raila na Raila ni mimi. Watu wajue hiyo tu. Na tutakutana hapa mashinani. Wanasema gani? Tutakanyangana hapa. Mungu awabariki, asanteni. 100%. Hata huku kwetu hajafanyika, lakini safari Mungu atupe nguvu tu. Yatafanyika mbaya sana.
A very heartbreaking story, and a middle-aged man was brutally murdered and his body set on fire last night by unknown thugs in the village of Gitogothi, Limuru constituency, Kiambu County. Neighbors now want authorities to speed up the investigations and also provide adequate security.
An incident in Limuru has left residents of Gitogothi village in shock after a middle-aged man was brutally murdered and his body set on fire last night by unknown thugs. The victim, by the name Samuel, is believed to be of Ugandan descent and was attacked in night.
Kufika pale tukaingia kwa shamba hapa tukaanza kuangalia mbwa zinatuongoza tu. Kwa ndio tuliona moto imeshika, lakini kwa moto kubwa sana. Vile tulikuwa wawili, ilibidi sasa turudi ndio tuitane huko kwa watu wengine wale wanapita kwa barabara. Sasa moto nayo ikawa kubwa. Na mwisho tulipata kulikuwa na mtu ndani, alikufia huko ndani. Alikuwa amerent hiyo nyumba. Alikuwa na double kama tena watchman, lakini alikuwa amerent, lakini anaangalia pande hii ya nyuma.
According to the neighbors, they were woken up by a dog at night and later they saw the house on fire, but their efforts to extinguish it were in vain. They are currently asking the security officers to speed up the investigation against the incident so that the criminals who carried out the brutal attack are arrested and prosecuted. The police officers have taken his body to the mortuary in Tigoni as they await the postmortem to be conducted.
Kwa sasa tuko na wasiwasi. Tunaomba tushughulikiwe na security. Thank you. Pande hii ya Gitogothi.
Phoebe Wangombe, Lookup TV.
Quite a very sad story from LIMURU in Kiambu County. On that sad note, we take a short breather. We'll be back with more news on the other side of this break.
A woman's worst fear of losing her innocence at a young age comes to life.
He took off his belt, so at first I thought he wanted to lash me out with the belt.
A tale of pain on a cruel act that changes the course of lives of many.
I felt cold. I didn't feel anything at all. I didn't feel pain. I didn't feel anything at all. I was so numb, and we finished, and there I was, sitting on my own blood.
Mental and physical scars brought by sexual abuse leave survivors with unerasable marks.
Started taking pills. Like I'd go to the nurse's room and steal Moxil.
This Saturday,
I didn't know how to feel. Was it anger, bitterness, scared? I didn't know how to feel.
Abigail Shera presents Stolen Innocence.
It's important for the victims' well-being that they get psychological support immediately, they get physical and attention and all that.
Walking the journey of healing for a rape survivor. Only on Lookuptv.
Sensei Institute of Technology is the home to the best practical courses, giving you a hands-on experience to handle the world. A place to build your skill and see the world in a different For you to join us, ensure you have your national ID card and be ready to enjoy the ride. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
Hey darling, are we still on for a coffee date?
I'm waiting for you to come and pick me up.
I should be able to pick you in a few.
It's a coffee yogurt date?
It's not just a yogurt, it's royal coffee yogurt.
Flow with the sweet taste of thick and smooth Royal Fresh coffee yogurt. Royal Fresh, the royal taste of freshness.
Thank you very much for staying with us on this bulletin. And just an update from the Shakahola cult graves. The reports, or other reports, now indicate that 7 bodies have been exhumed. 7 bodies have now been exhumed from the graves that were discovered today in Shakahola, Magarini, Kilifi County. Now, on that note, we continue with the bulletin. And Kenya Tea Development Agency, that is KTDA, has commenced talks with smallholder tea factories to review agreements on management services it provides through KTDA Management Services Limited. The agency, led by its board chairman David JOHO, held a 3-day meeting in Nakuru with directors of the factories from different counties.
In one of those reforms.
In a 3-day meeting in Nakuru County with directors of the factories from different counties, the Kenya Tea Development Agency board chairman David JOHO hinted on the reduction of management fee from 2.5 to 1.5%.
Entire factories from west of Rift came to start with the boards and the KTDMS to agree on a management agreement, and they have already agreed on one, and they have agreed on various parameters. And the essence of management agreement is to ensure that we entrench the reforms that we already started through that instrument. It has provided a clear framework of how factory will be managed by the KTDMS and also the role of the boards.
The reduction is said to have far-reaching benefits, cascading from the factories to the individual farmers for the tea supplied. The stakeholders also agreed to reduce the term of the agreement from the current 10 years to 5 years in a bid to enhance accountability of the management agency to the factories and the farmers.
Most of the action that we are taking are intended to ensure that we bring costs down and ensure that we take more money to the farmers. We also want to ensure that we is going to progressive and ensure that it will sustain it to a commercially sustainable business model.
JOHO underscored the need for concerted efforts to address climate change, which he said led to the decline in tea production in the country. This comes in the wake of concern over the loss of 100 million kilograms of tea in the first quarter of the year as a result of climate change.
Given that we are the regulator, and Section 34 of our Tea Act 2020 dictates that the factories develop a management agreement between the KTDMS for effective management. And we all know that we have been having the bone of contentions in terms of finances and how much we can be able to sell our tea. And having achieved that, then we had to develop a process in which we are going to ensure that the effectiveness of the process is well defined.
JOHO said all the 37 tea factories spread across Mount Kenya and the 225 directors of the companies had endorsed the KTDA management structure. The management fee of the tea factories will reduce from 2.5 million to 1.5 million Kenya shillings and also ensure that all the tea regions produce quality tea.
Quite some good news for tea farmers in the country. Now, Gertrude's Children's Hospital has launched a campaign aimed at tackling the growing issue of medicine and pharmaceutical waste disposal. Now, the campaign seeks to promote awareness on the care of medicine and safe disposal mechanisms to ensure the safe collection and disposal of unused and expired medicines. Brianna Moy now reports.
A study conducted by MBPI in Nairobi shows that there is lack of knowledge and awareness when it comes to disposal of unused and expired medicines. Poor disposal therefore could risk the medicine causing danger to the environment and the people at large. Gertrude's Children's Hospital, in partnership with Ogilvy Africa, has launched a campaign aimed at preventing medical waste from ending up in the hands of the public or contaminating the soil and water systems.
There's a serious lack of awareness when it comes to safe disposal methods of unused or expired medication. This initiative was begun to raise awareness and create a way for Kenyans to dispose of their medicine in safe ways for the environment. Many of us dispose of our medicine through garbage bins or throwing our medicine in the toilet, and that creates a harmful effect on the environment and other people as well, because when the garbage is collected from our houses, it comes to a site such as this one, and that medicine can seep into our ground and seep into the water system, which creates a hazard environment.
The low public awareness of disposal mechanics, lack of infrastructure for collecting and safe disposal of pharma products, high cost of waste management have been linked to the current menace, despite there being a guide on disposal of pharmaceutical products.
Created the pharmacy in just one day using medication that was disposed of and found at the site. And essentially this is a symbol of what happens to our medication when we discard it in improper and unsafe ways. This shows the scale of the issue that we're facing with the lack of awareness of how to properly dispose of the medication.
Through this initiative, Gertrude's Children's Hospital and its satellite clinics in Nairobi will be used as drop-off points for unused and expired medicines and pharmaceutical products for safe disposal and incineration.
Desired that any pharmaceutical waste that is disposed is actually done with these agencies that are trained to do it and that also do it safely. So that is really the desired way of doing it. So what this partnership does, therefore, is to create a process through which families that have medication that is either expired or that they are not using, although not expired, can dispose safely. And the way to do it is to take the medication and drop it in any of the Gertrude's hospital facilities, and then we will channel it to the NEMA accredited agencies that will dispose the pharmaceutical.
Gertrude's Children's Hospital and Ogilvy Africa are calling on other organizations to partner with them in order to scale up safe collection and disposal of pharma waste.
Dispose Safely is an initiative where we are partnering with Gertrude's Hospital. It's an attempt to find a solution to that problem and make sure the next time you're about to throw away an expired piece of medicine, just think of it as a biohazard waste and dispose it off safely, hoping to bring about a positive behavior change that has long-term impact on our society.
Brian Amwai, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
That is our one, Brian Amwai. Now, Siaya County government has confirmed an outbreak of cholera in the area, with one case reported in Rarieda sub-county. Residents living along Weshalem Beach expressed fear of contacting hygiene-related infections such as cholera due to the lack of proper toilets and clean water for consumption. Gladys Masharia with the news roundup.
The Siaya County Governor James Orengo has disclosed that a case of cholera has been identified in Uwoma at Mayuanda Health Center. Orengo, who was speaking during a cleanup exercise along the beaches by Rona Foundation widows, urged Siaya residents to take measures so as not to fall victims of cholera.
That unfortunately in Siaya we have had a case of cholera which is being treated, and there have been cases of cholera in the region, in the other counties, near the lake. The case that has been detected so far is one case which is being attended to.
And in West Pokot County, religious leaders have given incentives to the residents of the county to take action to receive the coronavirus vaccine as a way to stay safe. Through the leaders of the entire religious council, the leaders of the Christian and Islamic religions, among other religions, sympathized with the small number of residents who came forward and received the vaccine.
Gundua kuwa West Pokot ni one of the counties ziko na lowest uptake ya child vaccination. wale watoto wenye wamezaliwa West Pokot, only asilimia 49% peke yake wamechanjwa chanjo la vitu kama measles, BCG, etc.
Elsewhere, religious leaders in the Kikuyu area have emphasized the importance of unity and peace in the area after differences regarding farm ownership emerged and threatened the peace of the area. They also called on the Farm Council to classify the boundaries of those farms as a way to prevent community hostility.
Na sisi kama viongozi tukasema hakuna umwagikaji wa damu, hakuna vita itatokea baina ya hawa, na tungetaka sisi kama tunaweza kujileta pamoja. Pia tunauliza serikali iite hawa viongozi sababu kila mtu kuna ile njia alipata.
Finally, over 8,000 residents of the Babal at Susian ward in Laikipia North, who have been trekking for over 25 kilometers to access health facilities, have now benefited with a modern dispensary. For years, these residents have depended on occasionally medical camps, and at other times, they have been traveling to the neighboring Samburu County for health aid.
Hospitali hapa ya Rabal tukafungua dispensary hapa na iko na madawa na iko na daktari, na tumeajiri hata daktari, na bado tunakubaliana ya kwamba tutaongezea daktari wa kutoka hapa.
Gladys Masharia, Lookuptv.